Today, we're doing a whole bunch of new makeup. Not a whole bunch. We're doing 3 things, but one of them you're not going to see me put on. But this is kind of a spring, summer look that I put together, and I very, very much enjoy this. Now, coincidentally, the Barbie movie just came out. I don't know anything about it. I mean, I know who's in it. It looks very tongue-in-cheek, but I don't know if it's smart or if it's just silly. I imagine that it's not a movie for me. I am the Barbie generation. If you're my age, you are too. I mean, we grew up with Barbies where my mom didn't. Maybe there was a generation between us where we did. Anyway, what I'm getting to is this is not about Barbie. I've been seeing people do Barbie looks. It just happens to be pink. So let's go up with what we are looking at. This is the Rose de Soie Quint from Dior in the new formula. This is how you can tell it's the new formula. The CD here, where the other ones just have a silver strip, and this is all caps. Am I holding it right? I am. And I got this because it reminded me of Poplin, which was a limited edition that came out last year, a year and a half ago, and I loved it. And they're very, very similar. We're going to get into the rest, doing some swatches and all that kind of stuff. I already did an intro, and I thought, well, let's do the intro again. That's who I am. And then the Givenchy Prism Libre powder. And I'm also doing the face and body, which I put on before this started because it's for another video, but this side is the old one, and this side is the new one. And, you know, just FYI. Okay, let's get into the first intro I did, where I'm not repeating what I just said. We could do swatch comparisons. Let's do that. I'm just going to try to match these shades up and come back with a swatch instead of just pointing everything out, which takes an eon. So on my hand, the swatch is the lower swatch, and each one is the new formula. And one of the colors you really can't see. And I didn't do all the colors because there's not something similar to one of the colors, if that makes sense at all. Now, the Dior site has changed recently, and they, you know, it's the kind of site where you have to really search for what you want to know. They don't tell you straight out. This has been changed, new formula. So I'm behind on this whole new formulation that they're doing with everything. I think part of it is there's less scent, and I think the other part is they're going for more naturally derived ingredients. And they redid the formula for their quints, and they feel different to the swatching, not going to lie. When they redid these a couple of years ago, I was so delighted because the variation, the version that they had prior to this was horrible. Awful. It was just awful. And then they did these, and I thought, oh my goodness, they are so good for lids that are hooded. They blend like a dream. They feel delightful, beautiful colors. I love the Dior Quints. But we need to know, is this going to work in the same way? Now, this might be the kind of thing like the Visearts are very dry to the touch, but they blend beautifully, and they're great for crepey lids. I'm here to find out. So let's just do a little bit of a look with this and see what happens. I think I'm going to go with this all over my lid. I am wearing concealer on my lid. I just had so much concealer left that I thought may as well put it on the lid. And then I took some off and powdered it. So that's a good little base, which will help to see these colors a little bit better, especially since they are pinkish in nature and I have a lot of redness around my eyes. So far I would say the blendability is a delight. There's no difference, even though they swatch very differently. They feel drier. And yeah, it's not too pink. If you're one of those people you don't like the pinks, don't worry about it. Now, out of curiosity, I'm going to go in with this. And I'm going to put it on the mobile lid to get a little bit of lightness and bring it towards the inner eye, but not at the inner eye. I like that shade, actually. It's not as vibrant as I thought it might be. I'm going to put some up here. It's possible I should have done one quint on one side and one on the other, but it's not a dupe, so, but it's very, very close, so it wouldn't make sense. Now the color that is not in the pop line, right here, is this one. It looks, you could say it's this one, much, much deeper. So we're just going to see. I mean, for me, I'm fine with these two colors. I'm good to go. But I'm curious about this color. And I'm taking a MAC 217. This is an old one. It's Goat. And I'm going to do a little bit of the outer deepening with this. I'm just feeling around my eyeball here, and then I'll open the eye. You know, my hood covers everything, so I'm going to take it up a little bit more. Very subtle on my eyes. If you're not as hooded, maybe not, and you could probably, I could probably pull it up a little bit more instead of fading that out. Just do this so my eyes are relaxed and I know that I'm getting this in an area where you will see it when my eyes are open. Because I'm using this one, I won't be able to use the taupe. I just don't see how I could use the taupe with this particular look. I think it's either or. Like you could do the first two colors and then do taupe instead of this. But I was very curious about this color. Okay, that's an easy eye, you guys. That is just an easy, easy eye. I think I'm going to do a little inner corner highlight so we can see how this one works. When I swatched it, very hard to see, which is kind of ideal. So I might get just a sheen in this area instead of something frightening. Yep, really pretty. See from eye to eye here? I'll move around for the light. And by the way, I did put on my glasses and read after I put on my foundation, so we have to touch that up because I didn't let it set up first. It's super pretty. And then if you want to, you can just go in with a big fluffy brush and swipe around to blend. I'm going to use this one. I think I have a little more shadow on this side than this side. And I preferred this side, naturally. But I'm going to have to add. Going very light-handed with this. I really like this. I think this is super pretty. It's totally my jam. And again, here is the comparison between the two. This is the Rose de Soie, and this is the Poplin. Very, very similar. Limited edition, no longer available. It came out the same time as Organza, which is a little bit warmer, but I was deeply attracted to this one. And I like it a lot. All right, for blush, I didn't introduce the things I was talking about, did I? No, I did not. So for blush, also something new. I forgot to say in the intro, something new, something new. This is the Givenchy Prism Libre blush in Popline Violet, or not Violet, Violine. And I chose this because, you know, I'm going through a bit of a lavender thing right now. And there were two choices that seemed to indicate there would be some lavender involved, but one was very, very, very light. So I decided to go for this one. And this is what she looks like. There's a little powder puff. And they say in the directions, just disperse and powder with your puff. I think not. So I'm going to disperse and pick up from here with my brush. This color, really, just a little bit for me, because I think this is pretty deep. If you have darker skin than mine, if you are a strong medium, I think you can go full on with this. Hi, Gracie Boo Boo. Yeah. Look how pretty though. And the fact that this says poplin in it, or popline in it, tells me maybe it's something that would go with poplin. Okay, I have to fix the nose situation. But before I fix the nose situation, I may as well go on with the mascara. This is the Overcurl in black. And I can't remember, there's a way I prefer this. I think it's this way, where it hugs your eyeball, as opposed to the other way. Lovely. I'm now going to just go back in with my concealer. I should do my foundation. The concealer color is a little bit different, but the Dior is very, very watery, and I think I'll just disperse too much. But yeah, this is probably a mistake. This is too light. How to recover from mistakes. The Beauty Blender, a very good tool for that. And while I'm at it, I guess I could do a little bit here, a little bit here. And okay, I'm there. I may as well, I have some. I may as well go a little lighter here. That's all I'm going to do because I am testing this foundation. And what a pretty look. I think a little bronzer might be in order because we don't want to get too springy of a look. I'm not using colors that are traditionally summer. So I'm going to go on with the Jones Road, and this is in the medium color. And I have figured out the best way to do it is with a Beauty Blender. So I'm putting it in the palm of my hand because my swatches are still here. And I just, God, this color makes me want to eat chocolate. Are you kidding? Melted chocolate, yes. Little fondue, and just a little tapping around. That Givenchy I actually used the other day off camera, or I think I did come on camera to do something, I can't remember what, but I had first put on, I think it was my Clé de Peau, it was some cream blush, and I thought I need something a little more of a pop, and I used this with it, and it was so, so pretty. There, now I've gone from a spring kind of look to a summer look that isn't based in oranges or bright colors. Coming together, I'm just going to turn off the camera. I'm going to do my brows and then we'll talk about some lips. All right, I pulled back, did a little brows, always makes a huge difference. And now let's talk about lips. I pulled 3 lip possibilities. I'm going to go on with the sheerest one, and this is the Matte Sheer Velvet from Givenchy. I'll write the color below because it's kind of disappeared. This is my favorite color of all of them. And I love it because I have a little product on my lip, but not much. It's just a sheer color that is matte, which I prefer over glossy. Just a little dab, and it just looks like your lips, I feel, you know. Because none of us walk around with naturally glossy lips unless we just drink something. So that's one way to go about lip color. The Givenchy Matte Velvet Sheer. Now this is Janine from Laura Mercier, and I got this when I was doing a violet look, and it has a little bit of a violetness to it, which I think is kind of appropriate, even though I feel that the eyes don't look too pink and they don't look too violet. And that's Janine. There's a little more vibrancy to this color, and I really like it with this look. Janine from Laura Mercier. And this is the Sisley Lip Twist in number 2. I think it's called Baby, but it just has the number on it. Something a little pinker. A little more Barbie. I don't understand this obsession with Barbie. I will say what an incredible marketing job they've done with this, because it's a little weird. But let's do a little highlighter. So I wanted to do the Victoria Beckham again. Again, I love this packaging. It's so elegant. I just did a full face of Victoria Beckham, but I shot it a couple of months ago and the light was just terrible. So I don't know if I gave this its due. So I just wanted to show you again. She just came out with another color that is darker for dark-skinned people, but I think you might be able to wear it if you have lighter skin. If you combine it with your bronzer. So, so pretty. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. So here is my final look with my personal fur coat, my hair down. So first of all, the new Dior Quince, the new formula. And again, caps, and this is the new formula. I think it's lovely. It does swatch different than the old one, and it looks a little bit different in the pan. I feel like the old one has a lot more reflective quality when you're looking in the pan, but on the eye, I think they perform exactly the same, which is a very interesting alchemy. How did they get that done? How come it swatches differently, but it performs the same? I don't know. I also don't know what the deal is, but I think it's 98% naturally derived, and I don't really notice a fragrance in here. Yeah, I don't think it's scented, which I'm up for non-scented or very gently scented stuff. The new Givenchy blush, I do think there's a learning curve with this. I think my first application was ideal, where you take the color with your brush off of the puff. I would not use that puff to apply it, but it's very helpful. The highlighter, I think I put too much on. Even if I'm putting it on, I'm thinking, why am I going back and forth with this? This is going to be dumb. So a little too much on that, but it is so pretty, and they do have a new color, which I don't have. And the lip products, you've seen them all before. They will be listed below. And the Dior, the video for the foundation is probably already up. And I guess that's it. I would love to hear from you if you've tried these new Quince and if you've had a different experience from me, because I'm thumbs up on those. And I love that color story. And yeah, say hello down below. I'm so glad that you spent some time with me. I really do hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.